cells which we are going to use. So the challenge is another, that how you are connecting these cells, which type of welding technology which you are using, which type of cell holders which you are using. Why I am talking about welding technology? Because the two-wheeler on the street, when you are driving, actually the road conditions are very, very important. It should not happen, the joint of the cells, if it is weak, then the pack is going to fail. And if the pack fails, the vehicle fails. And when pack cost is 50%, you have to replace practically the pack. So this is very, very important. So welding technology is one of the most important factor in this segment. Then the battery management system. We are talking about say 100, 200, 300 cells and we are making a pack. So when you are making and doing the coordination of this 200, 300 cells, what is important? That there has to be someone who can manage these cells and they should do the coordination of these cells. So battery management system, we call it as a BMS, it actually does this function. This is very, very important for the battery pack performance. And this is actually a heart of the battery pack. Then the battery container. Why battery container is important? Again, the Indian road conditions, when you are traveling it on the road, you should understand what is the road condition, on which road this vehicle is going to run. The important aspects, these cells are not manufactured in India. As of now, these cells are not manufactured in India. They are coming either from China, Korea, Japan or Europe. And generally these packs which are manufactured over there, these cells are tuned to work in 10 degree to 25 degree of temperature. But in India, the temperature is very, very different. So you need to give actually the proper environment so that cells will not get impacted. If you see, say, northern part of India, in summer, practically the ambient temperature is about 47, 48 degree. So inside the pack, temperature may be 55, 60 degree. So in that condition, if pack has to work, there has to be some cooling system. In Europe and US, which I have seen, they also give the battery cooling system. But actually that is not a cooling system. They give this system is used as a battery heating system, because in Europe and US, the temperatures are sub-zero temperatures. So in sub-zero temperatures, the chemical reaction won't take place in the battery cell and cell cannot perform. So they actually heat the cell. But in our case, it's exactly reverse. So you need to really understand this. Again, the level of charging, at what level it has to be charged, what level it has to be discharged, at what current it should charge, in how much time it has to charge. It depends on every cell, because you have seen in the earlier slide, there are number of type of chemistries and they are defined according to the charge discharge cycle, then your cyclic life. So temperature and the charging discharging, these are one of the important factors. Another important factor is the communication. Why communication is important? When you are traveling on the electric vehicle, your battery is getting discharged. Who is going to tell you battery is discharged? Or suddenly the vehicle will halt. So to avoid that, there is a communication from the battery pack to the basic desk or the basic indicator of the two-wheeler or any vehicle. So it can give you the complete level of battery at charge, how much charge is remaining. So like you are going from one place to another, what is the distance, how much distance I can cover with the current battery charge, you can easily understand it. So this is very, very important aspect. So that is what I want to mention very clearly, that battery pack is most important in the electric industry, electric vehicle industry, and it has to be made properly. I want to give you more emphasis on the battery management system. As I told you, the battery management system is a heart. So we always say a heart attack. So battery management system is like a heart of the overall electric vehicle. So there are number of aspects. It can protect the vehicle or it can protect the battery pack. Current voltage protections it gives, thermal management, like when the temperature is going inside the cell which is going high, then it can cut the battery. Then intelligent cell balancing, like number of cells which you are using, so keep the proper balance of that. Health monitoring, if some of the cells are going weak, then it will inform you that few of the cells are going bad, so the battery pack health is going to get deteriorated. So it can tell you those things. Then another important aspect is isolation fault detection, advanced isolation fault detection, which we say. It always give you that yes, there is a fault which is coming, and it is detecting that advanced fault. Then the software for data logging, like when you go and buy a two-wheeler, what you will say, two-wheeler or any electric vehicle, what you will say, that how much is the battery life. The vendor will tell you that okay, I am giving you, the manufacturer will tell you, I am giving you 3 years warranty. But 3 years warranty, but what is the life? So always the battery life is determined by means of cyclic life, how many charge and how many discharge cycles. So I will tell you, my battery pack is giving 5000 cycles. How you will prove it? But there is a software in the BMS which is written, which always counts that how many cycles of charge, how many discharge cycles are already happened. So when you connect the battery pack, you will come to know that how many charge and discharge cycles are already over. So you can predict the life also. Another important factor, which is a battery sleep mode. You have sold the battery pack, you have sold the vehicle, but you are not used. This is what is a very big problem which I have always seen in the lead acid batteries. So this kind of a problems, this battery management system can take care, and it can give you a very good performance in the longer run. So this is very, very vital. Another important aspects which I was talking about is a communication and telematics. So generally these battery packs in EV industry, they follow the CAN bus as a protocol by which they keep on communicating. So you can have a typical kind of a mobile application. On your mobile application, you can see whether my battery is discharged or it is charged. So when you are going, you can easily calculate that whether I'm traveling from one location to another location, whether I need to charge my battery in between or not. So those kind of things are available. Then the theft management, you can control the battery pack from remote. So actually the vehicle can be controlled. So there is a geofencing facility. So no one can take out the battery and take it. You can remotely you can switch off the battery. So those kind of functions are available. So battery can become a kind of a IoT platform. So in the vehicle is actually going to come on the IoT platform. Most important factor beyond the communication is EV charging. So EV charging for the scooters, I have put a few of the pictures. So there are number of chargers. So these charger itself is a very big industry which is going to come up. And I'm going to discuss at length what kind of chargers which are used, what are the protocols, what are the ways and means it is working. So along with the vehicle, always you get a battery charger, which is a mandatory thing for any seller. Now coming to the battery charging station for EV. Now I am taking you out from two-wheeler industry, because two-wheeler, the battery charging is not that difficult. You can go and charge the battery at home. Even now the situation has come that say 75,000 rupees vehicle, you don't buy the battery. And battery swapping system means what? As like you go and fuel your vehicle, you will find number of battery swapping stations wherein you don't buy the battery along with the vehicle. You buy the vehicle say at about 40,000 rupees and take the battery on the rent or swap the battery. So you use the battery. When the battery is getting discharged, go to the nearest petrol pump or the nearest swapping station and replace the battery. So you can be saved like that. If you see in China, Europe, US, this kind of a number of charging stations which are available. And this charging station is coming out to be a very huge business. Why it is a huge business? Because there are different charging systems. Why different charging systems? Mobile charging station. What are mobile charging station? Actually, you can carry or you can take the charging station near to your vehicle. Like this kind of services which are given in many of the locations in US and Europe. Because your vehicle is stuck on the street and because the battery is discharged. So someone will come along with the charger and the battery pack. He will charge it and then you can go. Residential charging. When you travel the vehicle, I am talking now about four-wheeler, just come out of the two-wheeler, I am talking about four-wheeler. you have traveled the vehicle through a vehicle for about 100-200 kilometers. Generally, the range for four-wheeler is about 150 kilometers to 300 kilometers per single charge. And you travel throughout the day, and in the evening you can charge it at your home and at your residence. When you are traveling on the highways, you can go for fast charging, public charging station. So there fast charging chargers are available. In residential charging, you charge it at very low rate. So charging time is high and you are not bothered in the evening. But when you are traveling, say from Mumbai to Pune, what you will do? In between, when you need to charge the vehicle, you need a fast charging. So fast charging is also possible. What is the type of charging and all? I am going to discuss at length. Now, just look at this picture, very important picture. Here I am talking about the typical charging levels. So, typically a car which you will see, there is an onboard charger which is given by a manufacturer. So, this is a low charger, like say typically if I consider say 20 kilowatt hour of battery, and then the charging which is going to happen on the onboard charger is about 3 to 4 kilowatt. So on the right hand side, there is a L1 charging, L2 charging and DC fast charging. These are the different levels. So the level of charging L1 and L2, which is generally a home charging or the public charging for the slow speed charger. But when you go on the highways, you need a fast charging, which is typically between say 30 minutes to 2 hours. So there DC fast chargers are used. So the rating of those chargers is coming from 15 kilowatt to 100 kilowatt or 200 kilowatt. So this is kind of a charging which happens. And if you see, the fast charging is good, but as well as it is bad, because when you are charging the battery at faster rate, the life of the battery you are compromising. So one has to really understand what kind of a discharge or charge, how it has to be taken place. So this is the most important factor. Now another opportunity which comes, like when you go on the charging station, no need to go and there will not be anybody. These are all unmanned charging stations. If you have seen my earlier slides, I mentioned very clearly, these are all unmanned charging stations. So on these unmanned charging stations, what happens? You go, there is an application which you download, you simply go and put the application, you authorize the charging, you put the connector and you start charging. When you start charging, this is a similar applications wherein you can always charge by means of money. Like I want to charge for 100 rupees. I want to charge for 2 hours. So those options are generally given. And then you can select it on your mobile app. You can pay online and the charging happens. There is a protocol called OCPP. This is a global protocol which is mentioned and this is run globally. So this is a very standard protocol. And CMS, that is a central monitoring system. So all kind of a chargers, suppose I am a charge zone operator, then I will have number of chargers distributed all across the country, and these chargers I will manage it from single location. So no need of any manpower for that. So these systems again are getting actually a automated one. Now coming to the charging standards. So when I talk about the DC chargers, there are multiple standards. So if you see on the left hand side, there are 3 standards. CCS 1 and 2, this is a combo charger which is typically used in Europe, GB/T which is used in China, and CHAdeMO which is used in actually the Japanese car makers. So this is the 3 charging standards which are available. You cannot change it as of now. India is focusing more. Traditionally, India started with GB/T, but now India is focusing on CCS 1 and 2. So we have to keep it in mind, CCS 1 and 2 as a standard. In this standard, which is very clear, if you see the connector, the picture of connector which I have shown in the slide, this is not only giving and providing the DC power, but it also communicates with the battery management system of the vehicle. So when you connect the charger, actually when you put this connector to charging, this connector can communicate with the battery management system of your vehicle, that at what voltage I have to charge, at what rate I have to charge, every communication which happens, and then it decides that this is the rate I am accepting it, and then the charging starts. Similarly, globally accepted AC charging. For type 1 and type 2, in the earlier chart we have seen, the sockets are different. So those sockets are again different for AC charging. So I am not getting into the nitty-gritties at this moment. Now coming to the current scenario. How currently the charging is happening. The traditional vehicles are getting fueled. If you see totally in the country, there are about 63,000 filling stations or the petrol pumps. And how many vehicles? 6 million plus 20 million plus 5 million plus 80 million. More than 110 million kind of a vehicle. So those many vehicles are getting fueled at 63,000 petrol stations where the filling time is just 5 minutes. Why I am bringing this topic? Because we have to see how this business is going to grow. Because in electric vehicle, charging is minimum time is, even when we call about the fast charging, the timing is more than an hour. So multiple charging systems are going to be required. So the potential will be much more than the filling stations. Just for your calculations, I have put some kind of a numbers. Like for electric bus, on an average, battery will be 100 kilowatt, car will be 30 kilowatt, and rickshaws will be say about 3 kilowatt, and two-wheeler will be about 1.5 kilowatt. So what is the total energy is required? This is again an aspect. Fortunately, India is now focusing very largely on the solar. So the energy which is going to come on the solar, and if this many vehicles, if I see how many gigawatt hour of power which is going to required. So this is an food for thought, and this many vehicles to charge and discharge every day and day out. What are the challenges and what are the opportunities? There are challenges, but there are opportunities. So yeah, you will see this many charging stations are going to come in the coming days. Now, if you see the another advantage which is going to have when I'm talking about this many vehicles, this much of power. Actually, if you see down below chart which I have shown on left hand side, I have mentioned very clearly the solar power which will be used and the grid. So there has to be a charger always has to communicate with the grid also, because this many discharging or charging vehicles are going to make the grid unstable. So this is a scenario which is going to be a very complicated, but opportunity is there for many engineers to work on this. The advantage of these vehicles, every vehicle is not going to be charged throughout the day. So the complete vehicles are not going to be charged, but there are batteries. So huge energy flow which is going to be there on the streets. So when my grid is getting unstable, actually the communication between vehicle to grid, if it is happening, then actually I can use that battery energy which is available in the vehicle for stabilizing my grid. So at that time, a consumer who is actually using this battery in your vehicle is going to support the grid. So you will get paid for that. So those kind of a protocols and that kind of a future which is going to come. I am just trying to make a point, nothing beyond that point. Now coming to the onboard chargers. So we discussed the charger depending on the battery, how much is the charging required. So number of ancillary components which are going to come up, like DC-DC converter, onboard charger, power distribution unit. Why power distribution unit is required? And what is the DC-DC converter usage? You will be having the lights inside the vehicle. You will be having the air conditioning inside the vehicle. So those kind of the power distribution has to be there inside the vehicle also. So for which there is a common unit also which comes, individual units are also coming. So power electronics unit, which is a combination of DC-DC converter, onboard charger, power distribution unit and motor control unit. So this is the ancillary units which are going to come up. I just now said about the DC-DC converters, what are the advantages, number of ratings. Again, these vehicles are coming with the different voltages. There is no standardization as of now. So from 200 volts to 750 volt, multiple ratings are going to come. So how this has to be taken care, how it has to be managed and how it has to be used, how the selection has to be done. Now, what are the opportunities? The most important part of this presentation, what are the opportunities for you as engineers and as management students? What are the opportunities which are going to come? We have to really accept the opportunities which are coming. Transition is going to take place from the automotive engineers to mechanical engineers and to the electronics engineers plus software engineers. Now, what are the opportunities for mechanical and electrical engineers? See, I am not talking anything about the automobile engineers. Why? Because the situation is changing. The situation is going to change rapidly in the EV adoption. because no engine, no oil, nothing is going to be there, and it will be all electric. So mechanical engineers, where they will be utilized, they will be making the vehicle bodies, different types of motors, different types of motor controller, ancillaries, battery, EV charger, battery pack unit, DC-DC converters, and the welding technology, which is very, very important. Electronics and software engineers. Now, there was no role actually for these people into the automotive industry. But now, the battery management system, lot of algorithms you need to write, lot of software is important. Battery communication is becoming very important because batteries or the vehicle are coming on the typically on the platform wherein you can manage it from the remote location. Mobile applications, geofencing techniques, remote management of vehicle. So when you manage the vehicles from remotely, now everyone is talking in Europe the driverless cars. So when you see the battery management system applications and the algorithms which are written for the running the cars and vehicles, those days are not actually very long having a driverless vehicles. Algorithms for BMS is very, very important. Charging communication, vehicle communication. So actually the scenario is going to change from automobile engineer to mechanical, electronics and software engineer. So these many kind of things are going to change. Now, transformation of the industry, how it is going to happen? When we typically talk today, typical mechanical and automobile, mechanical engineers used to talk or the automobile engineers typically used to talk about CC and HP of the engine. What is the vehicle which you have purchased? I have purchased 1000cc vehicle. I have purchased 2000cc vehicle. Now, this is going to change into the kV and kilowatt hours of motor and battery. So what is the battery size? What is the charging time? What is the petrol, diesel and CNG will get converted into the charging connector, whether it's a CCS vehicle or it's a CHAdeMO vehicle. Per liter mileage to per charge mileage. So this is a transformation. The words, the juggleries which are going to happen, which is going to change. No more you are going to go on the petrol pump. You are going to charging station. And no need even many of the times you no need to go to even charging station. You can charge the vehicle at your home. So this is a transformation which is going to take place. So for Rosefield, what are the models which we are going to bring it to you for learning? Typically, I am telling you, we are a company which is a professional company. We are not interested in telling you on the technologies alone because technologies are taught well in the colleges and we cannot touch that. But we are coming with the professional experience. So what we are going to cover you up in the applications, opportunities, government policies, in the framework, what are the best things which you can do and how you can manage these things in the longer run for the benefit and the long-term career. So this is what is the theme with which we are coming. We want the young engineers should get ready for future. It should not happen that we are reactive. We have to be proactive. Still this journey has just started. Journey has not yet started. Journey is going to start. So we should get ready. So there will not be any dearth of potential for the jobs, for the businesses. There is no dearth because the industry is going to go with the very big change. So we are very clear what we are going to try and talk about. So few of the models and we are very open for customizing this module. This is not that this is a module and this is, and there are another, I've seen there are about 40 to 50 associated business which are coming up. So we are having a huge knowledge, but we want to take it to the youngsters so they can understand this and they can really make use of it. So the basic program, we cover the basics of electric vehicle, how the electric vehicles are different, just now which I have spoken many things about it. So core opportunities, what are the opportunities which you are having, types of batteries. So this is typically about 40 to 45 hours of learning which you can go. This is possible with the basic learning course. When you go with the say electric bicycles, now I am coming to the product specific. Why product specific training? Because unless and until someone will have the interest in going ahead with the manufacturing or the manufacturer of electric vehicles, say in the cycle space. So there is no need for him to learn the other things. He should understand the nitty-gritties of the bicycle very completely. So what is the powertrain which is used for the battery cycles, type of motors, then the motor controller, what is the type of motor controller which is used. See, when we go and buy the cycle today, there is no need for going for any approvals. But these electric cycles need to be tested and getting to be certified from the government agencies, any electric vehicle. So this is most important. Like how much is the gradient on which you are going to go. So that also decides the motor rating. That also decides the battery rating, because battery discharge or charge cycles are dependent on that. So learning in depth will help you in understanding all the nitty-gritties. So this is what is the program for, say, electric bicycle. Now we are going to talk about the electric scooters. What are the things which we are going to cover in electric scooter? As we discussed on the electric scooters, high speed, low speed scooters. What do you mean by low speed scooters? So low speed scooters are generally used for the speed limit which is less than 25 kilometers per hour. And these scooters today, they don't need any kind of a license or registration or insurance to drive this vehicle. So this is what is a very important aspect. And if you see today on the street, number of low speed vehicles are visible. But when it comes to the high speed, actually the speed which is more than 25 kilometer, which is tuned of say 45 kilometer per hour, that kind of a speed where you need to go for the high speed vehicle. And these high speed vehicles are very different, wherein you need to go ahead with the approval with ARAI and ICAT. These are most important things, and there is a process which you need to follow to go for those approvals. So the types of motors which are used for these vehicles are different. For the high speed and the low speed, the gradient where in which you are going or taking the scooter on the hill area, in the hill area, then the vehicle motor will be different. Types of motor and motor controllers are different again in this vis-a-vis your other vehicles. Type of batteries are different. Chargers are different. General specification, what we tell you about this kind of a vehicles. Then the telematics which is required. What are the telematics which is required? Then maintenance of electric scooters. As I told you, the vehicle maintenance is going to change. There is no need for going and taking the vehicle to the garage unless and until there is a mechanical problem. These vehicles can be taken control from the remote location and you can manage this vehicle. So garage theme is going to get changed over here. Government directives, as I said, the ARA and current laws which are there. Currently, the subsidy which is available, that also is a topic by itself. For getting that subsidy, what are the things which you need to do? So it's a kind of a 25 hours of learning we take you through, and we make you understand completely. Three-wheelers, if you have seen, this is the first vehicle which has come in the market in India. More than 15 lakh vehicle or 1.5 million vehicles are already on the street, and every year about 1 lakh vehicles are getting added. If you go to Delhi NCR area or northern area in the country, you will find number of vehicles for the last mile connectivity. Even the electric rickshaws and the loaders are there for distribution of milk, for distribution of vegetables. The electric loaders are used. Many of the government associations like Gram Panchayats and all, they are using the garbage collection vehicles for as a loader, which are electric one. So this again a very different application. So types of motors which are used for this kind of a vehicle. Then the similar thing what we discuss about telematics, maintenance, government laws and subsidy. So this is again a learning. We are coming to the electric car. Electric car is a very different topic. Again, we talk about all type of electric vehicles like a battery electric vehicle. Then we talk about the plug hybrid electric vehicle. Those kind of different types of vehicles which are available. Then we talk about motors which are used for this, because in two-wheelers and three-wheelers, motors used are typically BLDC motors, and here you can use the induction motors also. So motor controllers are different. The BMS which is used in this kind of a vehicle is very different. This needs and compliances like IS 26262 kind of a compliance which is mandatory for cars and the bigger vehicles. So what are those compliances? What is onboard charger which is required? Charging connectors again, which is a very important thing. How the charging happens, how the communication happens, communication under central monitoring system, what is the battery charging methodology which is used, telematics required for the car is different than the two-wheelers, then the government directives and the current laws. So is a kind of a complete 50 hours learning which we can take you through in this area. Similarly, for the commercial vehicles, again a huge opportunity which is coming up for electric bus and truck. So if you see those kind of vehicles wherein we are talking about, we have tried to make it a common platform for learning. So these are the typical modules which we have put. We can customize the module as per your requirement. We can take only as a motor as a module, which are for all the electric vehicles. We can take battery as a module, because battery, there is a huge learning in battery itself. Charging as a module, which we can take it. We can take telematics or the communication as a module, which are very, very different modules which we can customize. We have got those capabilities, experience, and the database also which we are having. We also trying to, when we are trying to customize this, what we want from you, the clean, clear-cut feedback. We already circulated you few of the Google Forms are already available. We have already provided the link. What we want, what do you really want to understand, and what do you really want to learn? We have got abundant knowledge and experience available. We want how much you can snatch and how you can grow. Our intention is to make you learn and learn out of our experience, so that our country can grow. So please fill up those forms. If any information is lacking in this, you can go on our website. We are also given the email address, so you can go through it and you can give your feedback. Thank you very much from my side. Thanks.
Uh, Thank you, Suhas. It was definitely a very insightful session, and no doubt all students must have learned a lot from this session. So, as Suhasa mentioned, please provide your feedback about this session. The link is in the chat box. So, the only people who provide the feedback will get the participation certificate. Then, if you anyone have any questions about the session, any doubts regarding that, please share these questions with us on the following email ID: info@roadspeedb2b.com. We would be very happy to help you in that. You can also share the questions over the WhatsApp number mentioned here. So please reach out to us if anyone have any kinds of doubt. Now, I would also like to announce that we have started a beginners to advanced course of electric vehicles on our portal. So this course is a very extensive one, having more than 7 hours of lectures, quizzes, and interactive approach, and you will get a lifetime access, and it will have a certificate of completion. So please do check out the beginners to advanced training program on electric vehicles. It is also conducted by Mr. Suhas Joshi. And by now you know that the kind of expertise he have on the electric vehicles, you will definitely obtain a lot of value from this course. And also we have EV and battery club over the LinkedIn. We post regularly there the latest updates about this emerging field. So do check that out, join the club, and provide audience with any insights if you have, or get any insight from us our side also. Now I would like to thank College Shri L.R. Tiwari, College of Engineering, the principal Dr. Umesh Bhadade, HOD of ECS Department, Manjiri Gogate, and special thanks to Professor Tanvi Thakur for providing support throughout the session.
Recording stopped.
And do join us in providing any, if you have any questions, please share that with us over the email address.
So students, you have to fill the feedback form, and accordingly you will be provided a certificate, like participation certificate for it. So
Recording in progress.
so thank you everyone. I would like to thank Suhas Joshi for sharing such a valuable information and making us understand the importance of electrical vehicle. And talking about EV in India is one of the upcoming market. As you know, you might be understanding from all the details and statistics mentioned by him and everything. So thank you everyone. Thank you Varad Dharab sir, Subhash Sarvankar sir, Prasad Jadhav sir, everyone for conducting for making us understand the importance of electrical vehicle. And so thank you everyone for your valuable time. And from here onwards, I'd like to start with a vote of thanks. So on behalf of Shri L.R. Tiwari College of Engineering, I, Ms. Tanvi Thakur, Assistant Professor from ECS ETRX Department, take this privilege, I'll say, to conclude this event for today and propose a vote of thanks to those who have directly helped to perform this session, directly, indirectly, and contributed to the success of this event. With immense pleasure, I would like to say thank you to our respected chairman, Shri L.R. Tiwari sir, President Kanti Tiwari ma'am, and Joint Secretary Krishna Tiwari ma'am, Secretary Rahul Tiwari sir, for giving us this opportunity to conduct this event. And I like to express my gratitude towards our principal Sir Barade sir and HOD ma'am Manjari ma'am for continuous support and guidance. And my heartfelt thanks to all the students, all the beloved students who have come over here and who participated actively. So with this warm welcome, warm word, I will move on to the end of this event. So thank you all for coming, and I hope it was quite an informative session, and you are going to contribute something as engineer to India. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So the meeting will keep on running for next 5 minutes, so student can fill out the feedback form.
Okay. So we'll keep. So all the students have to fill the feedback form.
Right.
Thank you. Manjiri ma'am, do you want to say something?
No, Tanvi. Thank you and very nice seminar.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
So all the students kindly fill the feedback form.
Uh, we would like to have testimonials of the event from your college side. So please do provide whatever you feel about today's event.
Of course, we will provide you with that, as well as yeah. Thank you.
Sure, sure.
Even we will provide appreciation later on behalf of college.
Thank you, ma'am. Extremely grateful.
So I will send you the feedback for this, like the speaker feedback. Just coordinate and accordingly provide us with that.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. So after filling the feedback form, you people can leave one by one. So can I take the feedback link and post it in our group, WhatsApp group, so it will be convenient for student?
Yeah, sure. I will share the link on the.
Yeah, it will be convenient for all the students.
Okay. I hope you all have filled the feedback form. I will be closing the meeting now.